same question for you, but I have to ask it to you as an actress. Did you look at past productions of Angels in America?
No, like Kenny, I treat everything like a new play, always. It doesn't behoove me to compare myself to anyone who has gone before, and it's a kind of a spiritual way of approaching my work, where I believe that the right actress plays the part for the time that she's supposed to play it. And Marianne very specifically cast me as Harper. I would never really have seen myself as a Harper, really, but she believed that something of my essence would be helpful for today's Harper. And in the playing of it, I find that is what has happened for me on this production, especially with everything that's happening for women in society at the moment. She has sort of become a Time's Up figure for me, a woman who is having to fight her way through something to get out of a relationship that is destructive for her, to start putting herself and her well-being at the forefront. And so somehow it's like for me with revivals, they seem to, when they happen, they seem to, it's the kind of the spiritual thing that happens around the play that defines why the revival is being done and how it is being done. Mm-hmm. You know, like I remember talking about diversity and everything. When I first read Angels, I was like, there's only one African American, only one black guy in it. And then when you get really into this play, it's so specific that that's the case, because it's highlighting, like he has a line that says, if I want to spend my whole lonely life looking after white people, I can get underpaid to do it. And I was like, wow, Tony is making such a specific point that unfortunately for our revival, I think what has become really clear is our revival is so prevalent now, like still so, has unfortunately so much resonance now. Like you would kind of think that, oh, we've gone past all of that stuff, but we haven't. And so, I don't know, I think these revivals are all coming along at a time when the world needs to be reminded of what we still need to work on, because we're in a kind of a tricky place, right? You know,
absolutely.
So theater, the arts is going to be how we get out of it, is my opinion. You know, I really feel the arts and the young people are where, you know, they will lead us out of the darkness.
Absolutely.
And so for me, doing a revival like this particularly, and doing it on Broadway in its home in New York, like I'm completely overwhelmed when I think of how privileged I am to get to do that. It's the most political statement I can ever make in my career, is to be part of this right now. So I've done many revivals and I've done many new plays, and for me, I don't know, this one is, I'm exhausted as well. So I'm quick to tears all the time at the moment, but I am very overwhelmed as I do the play every night, as I hear the words that are being said, as I hear Roy Cohn talking. I think, oh my God, where are we in the world that this play, 30 years on, has more resonance now than it did then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really important.
Absolutely. And it's true, the role of Harper, the way you play it, is very different than it was when I originally saw it and when I saw the HBO version.
Yeah, and
of it
I think it's important for me to say, like, when you talk about the play that I did last year, I met the girl that was taking that play on the road around England, and I met her to talk to her about, you know, if you need anything, if I can help you in any way with this mammoth you're about to undertake. And it was really important for her to know that we don't own these parts. That's not helpful. It's not, she said that somebody had come up to her and said they're big shoes to fill, and somebody else I talked to about the same thing, and nobody's filling anybody's shoes. Everybody is taking these roles and doing them for exactly the right reason in a different, like, I was so proud of her. She was somebody I knew, and so for me, when I read the book, The World Only Spins Forward, which charts the history of Angels in America, which is so helpful, but I hear things that Marcia Gay Harden says about Harper that I don't agree with, but that doesn't mean either of us are wrong.
Right.
It's just, my Harper is now's Harper, and then there'll be another Harper at another point, and there will be, that's what I love about the theater, that we share all these roles. And so to feel like you have ownership or there's a definitive, I don't think that's helpful, and I think it's it's a thing that is used to kind of, it's not helpful for an artist to feel like somebody's already done it, so there's no point, you know. I would have to give up,
Yeah.
because I want to do all Eugene O'Neill, so, you know, they've been done by everyone, so.